Hi everyone, welcome to another Open World LocFact. I'm Alexis, and today I'm with Lucio, and we're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how video game rating systems can affect the game's localization and culturalization.
First, let's briefly discuss what are rating systems. How do they work and do they apply to all markets? Rating systems are standardized ways that different markets have to determine the age range appropriate for each game and also to which target audience the game is made for.
Now, contrary to what you might be picturing, there isn't a room full of people sitting around playing video games and just taking notes. Games are actually submitted through questionnaires about the game's content. This includes things such as violence, sexuality, and if the game has strong language or not.
But not all countries and cultures have the same notion of what's appropriate or not. Therefore, different rating systems exist in different markets, such as the ESRB in the US and the zero rating in Japan.
Now, this game got a mature rating for players over 17 years old in the US by the ESRB, and the highest rating in Japan by the Zero rating, which is set for over 18. Red Dead Redemption 2 still had to go through some restrictions to reach the Japanese market according to what is culturally appropriate for that market.
Right. For example, in the Japanese version, explicit nudity is taken out. While some missions in which you see people being intimate and nude in the Western version, the Japanese version shows women wearing clothes and no full nudity.
Now, body parts, bones, organs, and bloody details that are often displayed in Red Dead Redemption's 2 Western version have been banned from the Japanese one, with body parts exploding and simply vanishing from sight.
All of this is due to the fact that all Japanese versions of video games are known for removing or heavily modifying anything and all things related to sex and nudity, violence and gore out of fear and concern for the morality of its citizens. So even though the game receives the highest qualification in the zero rating, some things are adapted further for that specific market.
Now, here's a bonus fact for you guys before we wrap it up. In the Chinese market, Arthur Morgan's classic Deadeye ability is actually called differently. It was called Eye of the God of the Dead.
Given the nature of both languages, it would have been hard to literally translate Deadeye to Chinese. So the localizers for the Chinese version of this game chose a deeper connection to a god-like ability for our friend Morgan here.
Now, that's all the time we have today, everyone. And before we jump into this episode's interview with Cristina Hernandez from Rockstar, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials that you see on screen. Thank you and see you next time.
Hi everyone!
Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Open World. Thanks for joining us today. As usual, we have a new guest who is going to tell us more about their journey in the video game and localization industry. And today here with us, we have Cristina Hernández. Hi, Cris. How are you today?
Hi, guys.
So nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of our open world, Christina. So, before we start with the questions, just a quick overview of your resume for our audience. You currently work at Rockstar Games, right, as a Spanish linguistic tester, but you've also worked in many of the games that we've all played, such as God of War, Detroit Become Human, FIFA, and you've also done some other stuff at Electronic Arts. So, with all of these amazing games that you've worked on, all these big titles, I have to ask, which game have you been most proud of?
God of War, with no doubt. It was my first AAA project, so it was a huge responsibility, but I really enjoyed the experience, and I was working as a project manager of both translation and audio.
Nice.
So it was a challenge, but it was a huge experience, and definitely I learned a lot. And I really enjoyed the game itself. For me, it's amazing. So what can I say?
It's an amazing game for sure. And out of all of these, does God of War matches the one that you've enjoyed working the most? I mean, because sometimes you enjoyed the project once it's your baby, right? But overall, the process, which one did you enjoy the most?
In this case, I have to confess that it was Detroit Become Human, because personally, for me, I was always wondering how people deal with games with multiple choice. I wanted to know how do they translate them, how do they work on them, how do they adapt them, and it was a huge experience. I really love it because I could go to the studio, see how they recorded it, see the characters itself having a voice, and the person itself a body. And I learned how it's like basically we translate everything, we have to record everything, then the people do its magic and the game becomes and creates. But for me, it was nice. I really enjoyed. I got into the story a lot. I remember one day at the office, I was reading the script we had to translate that day, and I almost cried. I'm not gonna do spoilers, but it's like it hit me super hard. So I really enjoyed working on that.
I love that passion, and I mean, I bet it's mind blowing the minute you hear that voice that is so familiar from a certain character, and you suddenly put a human face to it.
That's it.
So I know that you're specialized in new technologies and video games, right? So what do you think people that are not that familiarized with the localization process, or even with software or any tools that make our lives easier, should know about before embarking in the localization process?
Well, first of all, that the process itself is a huge one. There is a lot of people working on the process itself, different teams, different steps to follow. It's not simply you get the game in English and you get the original one and you just translate it and dub it. It's more. Basically, we need to translate, prepare the files of the translation, translate, review, test, record, prepare the scripts, check the others. So it's a huge process. It's not as easy as it seems. We usually work under pressure because we know the release day. Once we know it, we have to get to that date and match the deadline. And sometimes it's super tight and we have to work a lot, which is totally fine because in the end it's like your baby. And sometimes we even have to work, especially when translating, without so many contexts, that we have to guess or even ask the clients, what is this story about, what is this character from, or how do you want the character to be, or things like that. So with that lack of context, it gets even more difficult itself, and people think we know it and we have seen the game. Sometimes we can't see anything basically. And also there is magic in the case of translation, well, also for audio, but I'm more specialized in translation. And we got different programs and we have to deal with those programs, bear with them because sometimes they fail. We fail too because we are humans. We have to learn how to use them, be patient, and so on. So basically that is not as easy as it seems.
Yeah, well, I think these two elements that you bring, context and technology, are super important to have in mind. I mean, sometimes inexperienced developers or even teams that are super careful, of course, with the content they share with external partners sometimes, because as you said, it's their baby. They don't want anything to leak before the release date. So it's tricky, but I believe that it's super important for the localization team to have as much information as possible.
Yeah.
on the game they're going to work on, because you want those tiers, right? You want to fully understand the narrative, the story, the backstory of each character, and get involved in the process as much as the game developers to get that same effect on gamers, right?
Yeah.
And technology, as you said, we're all humans and we can make mistakes. So sometimes there are certain tools or platforms that make the whole process faster, easier, and also help throughout the consistency of the terminology and all that we all love about cat tools and all those magic software, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about your life, Cristina, but on the other side of the screen of a game, not so much on the work behind it, but which games are you playing right now? What game can you recommend to our audience?
Well, I'm playing a few of them depending on how I feel. If I'm with my friends and I want to play online, I have to confess I'm addicted to League of Legends. And we play so often.
Now I know where your hair comes from then.
Yep.
That's Katarina.
There's a certain character that has red hair, right?
Could be, yeah. Also, I'm
a little bit of inspiration there.
Yeah, right. I'm playing the classics. I'm about to finish Spyro's trilogy, and it's like back to childhood, and also Rayman.
Oh yeah. I love those two.
Yeah, for me, it's like my way to relax. It's like, okay, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You can save and close whenever you want, so it's fine. It's a chill one.
Yeah, and it's cheerful and colorful, and yeah, exactly. It's super chill.
Yeah, for me, it's never ending story. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And I'm also playing Super Smash Bros. Every now and then when I feel stressed. It's like, I have to release my anger. And I'm also playing Red Dead Redemption when I'm into chill mode too, but into deeper, I want to explore the world and go into Western mode, and it's fine.
You ride your horse and do side quests.
I love that it's all about the mood, right? Some people that don't play games so often, they think that you have to play certain games like all the time to be considered a gamer, right? And I mean, for me, it's like, as you said, it's like if I need to chill, I know my go-to game. If I want to spend time with friends and hang and have a good time, and I have other games. So yeah, it depends on the mood, right?
Yeah.
So like Alex said, you're working as a Spanish linguistic tester in Rockstar games. Wow, that is incredible.
We have a Rockstar as a guest, Thor.
Yes, this
literally.
is amazing. You're our first Rockstar. So yeah, we wanted to know because many people in the video game industry and the localization industry know that sometimes the testing field or the LQA field may be the entryway to gain experience, to get familiarized with some processes. So many people that are just finishing up their studies in linguistic or translation start to explore the video game industry and start as testers, as LQA testers sometimes. So we wanted to know what sort of skills do you need to have to become an LQA tester. Let's say there's someone there listening to us and just wants to know how to enter this industry, and maybe you can give them some advice.
Well, for me, the main point is knowledge of languages, both the language you're working with, the source language, in my case is English, and also your mother tongue or the other language you're working with. You have to keep up to date, know about the grammar rules, and be interested in languages. Also new technologies, because you're going to work with new technologies, with consoles, PC, programs, etc, etc. Also, as I have mentioned before, ability to work under pressure, because sometimes we got tight deadlines and we have to keep in mind, we have to get to the point and be like, okay, breathe, we're gonna do it, but we have to do it by this date. For me, it's also important to be able to work as a team. I don't know if it's me, I'm a team player, I love working as a team, but sometimes you have to find a term or make a decision, and in my opinion it's better if you exchange opinions and you find a point, or if you need help and you can ask your friends, well, not your friends, your colleagues, also friends sometimes, or the other way around, you can help other people, tell them like, hey, do this to get to this point. So that ability to be like in both ways, like working as an individual and as a team. And also patience, because people think that our job sometimes is like, yeah, you just play games. I wish. Sometimes we need to find lines or strings in a game, and it's about, I don't know, trying to get a mission and fail it 3 times or die a number of certain times, or get into this level or forcing the game. Sometimes we have to break the game. So it's a matter of patience. You have to enjoy what you're doing. And I know it's a bit cliche, but my last point would be like passion. If you love what you're doing, you're going to enjoy your job. In my case, it happens to me. It's like, okay, I have to play. Let's see, I'm going to try to find this, explore this, enjoy the whole process. And of course, keep growing, keep learning, be a curious person, try to get to know more and more, and how can I improve this, how can I get to this point in the game, how can I do this with this new program and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's great advice there, and especially the part of being a team player. Sometimes you may have to interact with people that have other different native language from yours, and that perspective, their cultural background and everything will make, well, in my opinion, sometimes will make your job easier or give you another perspective, and to get to that point in the discussion can be very interesting, right? You can learn from the process a lot.
Yep.
And I also think that if you enjoy what you do, to continue learning just happens, right? I mean, if you're curious and you have passion, you continue to learn, even like without even sitting and scheduling a time to study, right? Just as the days goes by.
Mm-hmm. Even while playing, you learn. You always learn, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to say that when you are working as a tester, then you can't change your mind. I'm playing games sometimes and I'm like focus on, this is a bug. And it's like, no, I'm not working anymore.
Yeah, you lose yourself in the game and then you realize that, hey, I have to report this.
True.
And are there like any specific tools or methods or any course that you could recommend? I mean, you mentioned learning, you mentioned that you have to remain curious. Was there any information in particular that helped you more? I mean, in my case, for example, to fully understand the whole localization process, I committed myself to learn more about the production side, about the game dev side, so that I fully understand the whole process, right? So was there anything about particular for you that helped you fully understand the process?
Yes, I would say that it's super nice to join groups like, I don't know, women in localization, women in games, or even dev groups, or any group related to video games and translation. I am even in indie game developers groups and things like that, sometimes to be able to help. And also attend conferences and workshops and watch videos, keep learning. Like there are many resources nowadays that are super useful. For me, my favorite one is meeting people. Because when you meet people from different roles, from different enterprises and things like that, you learn a lot from them.
Absolutely. I really miss in-person events though.
Yeah.
We were talking with Ali the other day about this. Like, we really look forward to coming back to normal, or at least.
Yeah. But the good thing now is that you can attend any event probably, because it's like, there's one in, I don't know, in United States and I'm living in the UK. Okay, it's fine. I can do it online.
You
So
can make
we
it
have to
happen.
take advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but as someone who joined the video game industry in the midst of the pandemic, such as myself, I've
Yeah.
never experienced in-person events. So I'm desperate for this to end and to shake some actual hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be much better.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time for the meme section. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, Cristina brought a few and we added a few as well. So let's have a laugh.
Okay, I can relate.
Look
with
at
this
all
one
this
a
work
lot.
I haven't done yet. This is real, especially on a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording this on a Monday. So
Yeah.
I was literally thinking of a Monday when I found this one.
yeah, it's so true, it hurts. Oh, this one is one of my go-to memes. Like, I have a sticker with this one over WhatsApp as well.
And I discovered that there are many options, like shouts in Spanish, cries in Spanish, is happy in Spanish, and things like that. For me, it was like, okay, classic.
The Spanish version of
Soraya.
Like, I grew up watching all her telenovelas, so this hits close to home.
Never dies. It never dies.
Yeah. Well, this one is another one that never dies.
This is a recurrent meme from our guests. I don't know if you noticed it, guys.
This constant state of mind for, well, since 2020 started, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
Like, breathe, it's fine. Could be worse.
I mean,
we got
there's
this.
not much we can do, so
yes.
It's just fine.
We're gonna keep it cool. Yeah, this one also is one of my favorite stickers too.
This one is a classic, and it's a good thing that it's after the fiery one, right?
Yeah, it's like the whole process. Like all the things you
all
have
the
to
feels.
Do, you're like, it's fine, and then like you did it.
Never didn't have it.
Listen, I think you may have a problem with overusing contractions. It's what it's.
I don't have time for that.
How much time do you save with those?
Hey, you never know.
Busy. Okay, so this is too real.
Yes.
I got myself a new computer just a few months ago, and it was super slow, and it's a mighty fine computer, mind you. And
I have to add Teams, Microsoft Teams to that.
Microsoft Teams as well. And turns out it was all of these programs that started along my computer. It's like, chill, I'm gonna get to you eventually. I'm gonna play my games. I'm gonna talk to my
there's
friends.
No way I'm not gonna open you throughout the day. Please.
But let me do it, please.
Yeah. When someone looks through my browser history, when someone looks through my calculator history.
Hey, you gotta make sure sometimes that's 2 + 2 is still 4.
Oh yeah.
Just in case.
My excuse is I'm in linguistics. I love languages, so numbers are not my strong suit ever.
Yeah.
You just keep checking, Flor.
Yeah,
Keep checking. Just in
always.
case. Just in case.
In an alternate universe.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if Ash played animals?
That would be awesome.
I know, right?
Realistic. Yeah, it's a nice idea.
Great idea.
It's a great idea. So if people
Hey, if anyone is listening and wants to take this one, just let us know.
just let us know. We can, like, if we appear on the credit section.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever thought of making your own game, Chris?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, definitely. I would love to. I would
Without
love
a
to.
doubt.
Yes, but it's a hard process. Maybe one day.
And that's the end of our meme section.
It always comes short, but
I know. And I mean, we had so much fun. Thanks
yeah, Chris,
Thank you,
for
guys.
joining us
It's been a
today.
thank you very
pleasure.
much.
I know. And I mean, it's been a while since we started this conversation to make this happen. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be leaving in the comment section all the associations that Chris mentioned in this interview so that you can check them out and join any groups that can help you out through your career path, right? So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Cristina. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you, Cristina.
Thank
Thanks, Lord.
you.